Hello everyone, just passing by. My name is Bryer, and this is episode 4 of me going through my entire CD collection. Last episode we went through H through K, and that one was a shorter episode. Today we're going to do a longer one. We're going to go through L through P today. So we have a ton of CDs to get through, some spanning many genres, so sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. So the first CD I'm going to show you tonight is something might be unexpected. This is Leanne Rimes. This is her greatest hits here. I only knew one song from her, and that is How Do I Live, which I enjoy. Nice little pop tune. So I don't know if I'll get any of her studio albums. If you have any suggestions, leave a comment down below. So this one was an interesting grab. Put this over here. Next, we have Linkin Park, Hydrogen Theory, Hydrogen Theory, Hydrogen Theory.
You stupid!
Of course, rest in peace to Chester Bennington. Huge loss. And I also have, I'm not sure if I'll say this correctly, but Meteora. I think that's how you say it. I think this one's my favorite album of theirs. This one contains some of my favorite songs like Breaking the Habit, Somewhere I Belong, of course Numb. Faint is a good one. So yeah, good one. Definitely a must. Next, we have Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie's Can't Slow Down?
Great album, Lois. Great album. I didn't know who I was until I heard this album.
And I also have this greatest hits here. Again, I got this because, at a thrift store, I saw it. Might as well get it. I mean, it has the great song Say You Say Me on it.
But, I think it's actually a pretty good song.
Naturally.
Yeah, sing it, Lionel.
Alright, next up, we have Lou Reed with this is probably his most famous one, Transformer. This was his second album, and this was actually produced by David Bowie and also Mick Ronson as well. And yes, I've recently started to get into more of Lou Reed's stuff. Of course, I know him from the Velvet Underground, but I'm really starting to really enjoy his solo stuff. I mean, of course, it has the big hits, Walk on the Wild Side, but songs like Perfect Day, Makeup, Satellite of Love, Good Night Ladies, Vicious, just a great album here. And also you have the back cover with that had something in his pants there. And this is the only other Lou Reed album I have. This is let me see what year this was. 1989. This is New York. Definitely want to get more of his albums in the future. I say that a lot, so I realize that. And last one of the L's, we have Lynyrd Skynyrd with their debut, pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd. Yeah, I said right. Definitely a classic Southern rock album. Tuesday's Gone, Gimme 3 Steps, Simple Man, of course Freebird. Yeah, definitely a classic album. Okay, so next up we have the M's. And you can kind of see it here down here that it's definitely a lot taller. So let's get started. So first up we have Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. This actually took me a while to get into because my mom actually introduced me to Meatloaf, and we're gonna get to it later. But I'll just show it now because we're here and. We bought this. It's just another greatest hits. It's not bad great. It's not too bad, but it's not great greatest hits either. But anyway, yeah, I listened to it and I was like, okay, this is good. I like it. And then I got this, and I listened to the whole album, and now I love this record, or CD, whatever we're gonna call it here. But just all the songs are amazing. Of course, the title track, you took the words right out of my mouth. Of course, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Paradise by the Dashboard Light, just everything is fantastic. So, and it's also one of the most best-selling albums of all time. So that's good for a person with the name of Meatloaf. And here's a picture of him if you want to know what he looks like. He's not dead. Of course, just like in the movies, whenever a movie's successful, there's always a sequel. And this one's no exception. We have Bat Out of Hell 2. Also really good. Not as good as the first one, but this is a good album too. I mean, it has the big hit, the massive hit, I'd Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That. And other good songs, Rock and Roll, Dreams Come True, It Just Won't Quit, Objects by the Rearview Mirror, May Appear Closer Than They Are, Everything Louder Than Everything Else. Just, yeah, good album. So definitely pick it up. Now there's also a Bat Out of Hell 3, but I do not own that currently. Maybe I'll get it, but along with his other albums too. And I only have one more Meatloaf album, and this is actually his latest one. This was released in 2016, I think. And I've talked about this before, but this is another one of those cases where the part where the CD is supposed to be held broke. So I open up, you can see that there is nothing. It's hard to see, but it's broken, so there's nothing holding it. By the way, I like the art there. So yeah, this was his latest album. And, you know, obviously he doesn't have the range that he did when he was younger, because this was in the 90s. And this was 77, or yeah, 77. But if you're a big fan of Meatloaf, and of course the Jim Steinman, who is the songwriter, then you're definitely gonna get you definitely know what you're gonna expect. So I enjoy this album. I think it's a good one. It's not great. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's enjoyable. Going All the Way is a good one. Speaking in Tongues, pretty good. Loving You is a Dirty Job. Yeah, decent one. It's a decent album. Alright, now we're getting to some thrash here. First up, we have Megadeth with their third album, I think. Peace Sells, But Who's Buying? Next, we have Rust in Peace. Usually this is what many people say is their best one. So yeah, it's a good one. Of course, it got Holy Wars, Hangar 18, Five Magics, of course, Tornado of Souls. We have Countdown to Extinction. I'll show you the back, because that back cover, I don't know, that skull just creeps the hell out of me. I almost don't like look. I always just try not to look. Try look in the back. Just focus on the front there. Let's keep moving. And this one's their latest one that they released in 2016, I believe, as well. Dystopia. Great. Alright, now here we go. We have Metallica. We have their debut hit, Kill 'Em All. Oop. I hit the mic stand. Next, Ride the Lightning. This one's probably my favorite Metallica album. And of course, you gotta have this one, Master of Puppets. This was actually the first, not only my first Metallica CD, but this was actually the first metal CD that I got, and it took me a while, because on first listen I thought, this is way too much for me. But once I started getting into more metal like Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, then I eventually was able to come back to this and think, okay, this is good. I like this now. And while I still prefer this one, this is still a classic metal album. And I have one more Metallica CD here. We got the Black Album. You can see the snake there. Say what you want that this was kind of their sellout album, but there's still some good stuff. Enter Sandman, The Unforgiven I like a lot. Even Nothing Else Matters I enjoy. It's a good one. It's a good album. Alright, so now here comes a massive legend here. Whether good or bad, I'm not gonna get into it, but we got Michael Jackson. This is Off the Wall. Of course, Thriller. This one's kind of beaten up because this is a used copy that I got at the thrift store. Bad. And Dangerous. Alright, that's almost done with the M's. Got 3 more. Alright, so now we have a greatest hits. This one's it's not a bad it's not a bad greatest hits, but there are better greatest hits I've seen. We have the Monkees. Of course you know the Monkees. You already know this song. However, if you've been on the internet, you've already encountered this song before. Alright, moving on. We have the Moody Blues. Days of Futures Past. One of the earliest forms of progressive rock, as a matter of fact. And this is a really good album here. And this was actually in really good condition when I got this, because I got this at a thrift store. But by the looks of it, it looks brand new. Who would get rid of this? I tell ya. And last one of the M's, we have Mr. Big. Lean Into It. My introduction to Mr. Big is kind of a strange one, because if you're an anime fan, you've probably heard one of their songs before.
I never really feel quite right. I don't know why. All I know is something's wrong. Every time I look at you, you seem so alive.
It's kind of ironic since the anime itself is full of blood, death, and destruction. But it's fucking awesome. Okay, alright, so now we are in the ends. Ends a little bit shorter. Okay, so we're gonna start off with some jazz for all the jazz folks out there. We got Natalie Cole, Unforgettable. And I got Natalie Cole, Still Unforgettable. If you like jazz, if you like some jazz, nice chill jazz music, this is a good one to put on. And Natalie Cole's a really good singer. This one's a greatest hits. It's a pretty good one. A lot of his early stuff, mostly. Neil Diamond. Alright, next up we have Neil Young with Harvest. Really good album. Very folky, a little bit of rock influence here and there. But yeah, this is a good one. This is my only Neil Young Neil Young album so far, so we'll see when I'll get more. Nightwish. Once. If you like symphonic metal, this is a good band to get into. And of course, we're gonna have to censor this one. But of course we have Nirvana, Nevermind, a grunge classic. Not much to say on that one. And this one's probably a band most of you probably never heard of. This is actually a Canadian band, and the album's called Big Blue Sky, and the band is the Northern Pikes. This one's actually a 2 CD pack. First CD has the album, and the second disc has a bunch of unreleased material, which is pretty cool. If there are any Northern Pike fans out there, let me know what's your favorite album. Maybe I'll get some more. And that's all the ends. So now we're in the O's, and the O is the shortest pile here tonight. So we're gonna start off with some death metal. You got Opeth, Still Life. So far, it's my favorite death metal album. It's my only death metal album. And this one's a really good concept album. Obviously, if you want to get into metal, don't start here. Again, I want to say this, if you want to get into metal, you always want to start at the bottom. You want to start at the bottom first, and then you gotta work your way up. Don't start with this yet. You're not ready. Trust me. It took me a while to really get into this one. So, take my word for it. And now, same band, but we have Sorceress. I think that's how you say it. I love the artwork. It's the same band, however, different sound. The Still Life, which I just showed you, is death metal. This one's kind of a harder rock, progressive rock type of album. And let me get the good things out of the way. I mean, I love how this feels. I love the texture, the artwork, and all. Just looks great. Looks fantastic. Musically, I don't know. I actually prefer the death metal stuff more than this. Not saying this is bad. There's some good stuff here, but I actually prefer the death metal stuff over this. So that's my opinion. All right, last two are by the same artist. All of you should know this guy. We have Ozzy Osbourne.
Something gets in my head, it'll come out my mouth, you know.
So you listen to a lot of Justin Bieber? Is that what we're gonna... Justin Bieber?
Who the fuck's Justin Bieber?
Good.
This is his debut, Blizzard of Oz. Of course, he has the great Randy Rhoads on guitar. And ironically, or coincidentally, whichever the word you prefer, I have his first, and I have his latest, Ordinary Man. Really good album. Has lots of great songs here. Straight to Hell, Ordinary Man featuring Elton John, Under the Graveyard, Today is the End. Even the songs with Post Malone I actually enjoy a lot. So yeah, Ozzy Osbourne. Pretty much in this, I think he's 70 or 69 somewhere. I think he's 70 though. I'll put the actual age up if I get it wrong, but for someone who's getting old, he's still got it. He's still Ozzy Osbourne. What can you say? Okay, so now we're almost there. We just have to go through one more pile, and that is the letter P. So the first one we have is a modern artist. We have Pink. Pink is kind of an odd one to put in alphabetical order because although Pink is P-I, and I have others. Technically, I have artists that go before Pink, but I don't know. Usually it's an exclamation point rather than an I. So I don't know. I'm just gonna go with the flow. But yeah, I like a lot of Pink. I like a lot of Pink's music. She's a great singer. Not much to say there. Just great voice, lots of good songs, a lot of catchy melodies, just some good stuff. Okay, next, Paul Simon, Graceland. Amazing album. We have a live album. actually the first live album I'm showing. I don't usually buy a lot of live albums because personally I'm not a fan. I'd rather listen to their studio stuff, but this is the exception. This is the only exception where the live stuff actually surpassed the studio stuff. So this is definitely one you want to get. Peter Frampton comes alive. Amazing live album. Alright, we've talked about Genesis. Now we're about to get into their first singer, their original singer. We have Peter Gabriel. This is his third album. Of course, if you didn't know, like the first 4 Peter Gabriel albums are just called Peter Gabriel. And there are many ways you can call these. You can call this one Peter Gabriel 3 or Melt, since his face is melting. Ironically, I wouldn't say ironically, that's not a good word choice, but funny enough, Phil Collins actually appears on this album. He plays drums. Next, we have So. This technically is the first album where it isn't just Peter Gabriel. And this one is called Up. It's okay. This one's an okay album. It's not my favorite, but it's okay. Alright, so that's all the Peter Gabriels I have. Now we get to Genesis' other singer. Of course, we got Phil Collins. This is his debut album, Face Value. And this is a 2015 remaster, sorry. It might be 16, who knows. But you can tell because Phil Collins actually reshot a lot of the original artwork. And this one is a 2 CD pack, has the original album, plus a lot of bonus stuff. I've heard mixed opinions about the reissues, how Phil kind of reshot the artwork. Yeah, it's kind of a shame you can't really get the CD with the original artwork, but I'm not complaining too much. As long as I have the album, I'm good. Next we have his second album, Hello, I Must Be Going. No jacket required. Following after that we have But Seriously. Both Sides. Little fun fact, Phil Collins actually played every single instrument on this, and it's a good one. I've heard mixed opinions on this one, but this is a really good album. I think his debut and this one are probably my favorites. And I have his 2002 release, Testify. And even though this is a soundtrack album, I'm counting this as a Phil Collins album. We have Tarzan. And last Phil Collins related CD I have is a Greatest Hits. This was the first one I got. And that's what made me want to get his studio albums. Alright, so now we have these next 5. Alright, so the next 5 CDs are by the same band, and it's the only other band that I have all their CDs. So, The Police. Who knows, maybe I'll rank all their albums like I did with Queen. And maybe I'll do the same with Genesis. So anyway, this is their debut, Outlandos d'Amor. Second album, Regata de Blanc. Third, Zenyatta Mondatta. Fourth, Ghost in the Machine. And their final album, Synchronicity. Okay, final two, and then we're gonna call it here for the night. We have 1999, the year I was born, and it's by Prince. Really good album here. Just, I mean, 1999, year I was born. And finally, we have Prince and the Revolution, Purple Rain. It's essential. Not only if you're a Prince fan, but a music fan in general, you have to get Purple Rain. Just an amazing album. Purple Rain, just an amazing song. And just rest in peace. Rest in peace to Prince. And that will do it for tonight. This one's a long one. It's gonna be a lot of fun to edit. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in episode 5. See you then. Have a good evening. Goodbye.